Hey everybody, this is Joe. I'm here in my Houston, Texas garden. I'm in zone 9A/B because they changed the zones on us. And I'm going to give you a little look in the backyard. It is almost Christmas, and in Houston, I still have beautiful roses and lots of green. And I keep looking at the weather every day for the 10-day forecast to see if it's gonna freeze. I want it to freeze in the middle of January, spring in Houston, last frost date, middle of February. This is a red fire spike. You guys have maybe heard me tell before, this was my mother's, and she dug it up out of her parents' yard in Galveston, Texas, when her dad died in the 60s. And so this plant has just been passed down and divided for, gosh, 50 or 60 years now. So I love it, and it's wonderful because it blooms in the fall when you don't have that much color necessarily. Now I happen to be very lucky and have a lot of color. Oh, here's Miss Doubtfire. Hello. She's missed the last few videos. Hello, Pumpkin. She wanted to be part of it. Meow, she says. So my pots are looking pretty good. I still haven't done a pot video. And the shade looks pretty good because all the shrimp plant blooms really well in the fall, especially the sort of more maroon colored ones. Good old diamond frost euphorbia, still just knocking it out of the park in the middle of December. I'm still hopping around on my broken feet. This is so wobbly, slow video. So one of the things it's doing so beautifully are these giant pentas, and I still see butterflies on them. I saw like 5 different varieties of butterfly in a couple of days ago. I saw them all on the same day. Oh, and there's is that an ant on there? But they're doing really well. And then the pink ones seem to be much smaller back here. I think they're in a little more shade, the pale pink. And then this is crazy. This Cleome has been out here all year. It made it through the drought all summer long, and it's still blooming. So this thing has been blooming since probably April. And I'm just amazed by it. And I keep saving seeds. I have enough for everybody in America because so many seeds come off of a plant. And these have stopped blooming, these little stalks, really, but I just thought they looked kind of neat. They're very sculptural, and I can see them from the kitchen, and they do move in the wind a little bit, but I just thought, my normal thought was to cut them down, right? They've stopped blooming. That spike has stopped blooming, and I would cut it back. But I just decided I'm going to leave them, and they'll be winter interest if they don't keel over, even if they're turned brown in a freeze. Hopefully they'll still stand and give us a little winter interest. And then look at the little gomphrena. That's in a pot, and it just looks so good. I just love it. And now I can see this is the Amistad. Well, one of these is Amistad. I don't know. One of these is Amante, and one's more red and one's more purple. And I bought them both with the same tag, and they don't match. But I can see now one of them is just falling over. I'm climbing back here. I've just been throwing seeds back here. This is going to be just such a hodgepodge, but we'll just see what happens in the spring. It'll be fun to just kind of see what comes up. But I'm climbing back because I want to show you Excellence von Schubert. This rose is crazy. That must be 18 inches long, this right here. I mean, it's just, here's a close-up of one of them. Isn't that beautiful? And here we are in December, and I have that incredible ball of roses out there. And I've still got, this is Amistad salvia in this darker purple. And you can see, gosh, it must be 7 feet tall, and it still looks really beautiful. And the grasses have got their pretty inflorescences going. And let me clop. Oh, back around here. I can't figure out where my boot will fit without destroying the garden. Like Frankenstein walking through. And this sweet little, when it kind of cooled down and we got some rain, this Gulf Coast penstemon has come back out. And look how pretty. Isn't that lovely? I just love it. And there's even a few little stragglers of the Salvia uliginosa, which is a bog sage, that I wish I never see that for sale, and I just love it. I don't know why no one's selling it. If y'all have watched my videos before, you know this is a salvia that grows in this shade, and which you just don't find that much. And it's a true blue, which is, I find true blue flowers are hard to find. And so I think it's a real gem to have in the garden. I've had some good luck and some bad luck with my I bought these a couple of weeks, probably 2 months ago now, and they were so pretty, and look how scruffy. These are big dragon wing begonias. It's got one sad little flower on it. I don't know what's going on. They're not very happy. And these looked better, and then I had, I don't know, a raccoon or somebody come crashing through and broke a bunch of it off. This is stock, and I've already cut it back once, and it's come back again. I love it. It's just so wonderful, and this would look better if the raccoons hadn't come and trashed it. Look at this huge drift of this darker color shrimp plant, and then way back there is sort of coral Turk's cap, which the Turk's cap back and forth. This is a huge Turk's cap, and it's looking really nice. And then what's going on over here? Oh my goodness, look at this Salvia leucantha. It's the Mexican bush sage. It just got so big, and I mean, Chelsea chopped this 1,000 times, and it still got tall and fell over. But I didn't plant anything right here, so at least I was thinking ahead a little bit. And it's so wonderful. I love it. Look, I'll get you a close-up. Isn't that pretty? And it's fuzzy. Well, let's see if I can get there. It's in focus. It's so pretty. And then I've had such trouble with my little Rockwell sesquicentennial roses. I have 3 back here. This one, look how gorgeous. Look at that. I mean, I love this rose so much. And then here's this terrible scruffy one. And then I came out here this week, look, dead. I don't know why. Who knows? Who knows why this happens? It's gardening. Okay, here's 3. My sweet husband put in some parsley for me, and he's gonna put in some the carrots for me. I'm a solid month late on that, but I still can't dig a hole. I'm still just doing little clipper things because I can't really get back in the garden very well. And here, this is a pink skullcap, which is native to Texas. It really is not very happy, and it immediately got broken off when I bought it. We stepped on it or something, so I've had this sort of under a little cloche just to keep from stepping on it again. But I'm hoping that that'll be really pretty in the spring as a native plant. And then of course this little knotweed is so darling. But again, I'm keep pulling it up because it's so invasive. And then this is back here is a native verbena. It's kind of like Verbena bonariensis. It's going to be tall and little tiny purple flowers. I'm hoping it'll kind of act like Verbena bonariensis. So that's sort of new to me. I had one the other couple last year over here, but it kind of got smothered and I forgot about it. And then this is, oh my goodness, look at this. This is that palafox. Let me see if I can find you a pretty looking flower. I thought this sucker was going to bloom and be finished. And I've kept it a little bit trimmed back, but look at that. Oh my goodness, right? It has been so beautiful, and it's been like this for 2 months. And so I'm super happy with that. More carrots over here. and then one random little cleome that's coming up that I might, oh gosh, there's a ton of cleome. See, I threw a lot of cleome seeds out here. There's a bunch of cleomes out here, and I will probably just pick which one I want. And I may even, I'll probably get a plastic, if it freezes, I'll get a plastic flower pot, just a gallon pot, and put it over the top of it, and maybe put some leaves or something to hold it down. And it will. I had this experience last year with another one where it came up in the winter because it hadn't frozen. I was able to keep it alive through the 1-2 freezes we had last year, and so early spring it was already huge and blooming when the rest of them were all tiny little seedlings. So because some of these are coming up, I will probably cover some of them in a freeze. And then I've got another, like a little salvia back there. I've thrown, oh my gosh, y'all, I've thrown so many seeds out because I had so many plants that seed easily. And so I would get the seeds and just throw them. And so I will then edit out which ones I don't want if they're too crowded, or there's part of me that thinks I'd like to see what color the cleome is before I edit, but they'd have to get pretty big, so I'm not sure what I'll do. I have stopped throwing white cleomes. There's this one white cleome still left. It came up a couple months ago, and I like white sprinkled in a little bit, but I really want more color and a little less white this year. And so there will be white because it's dropped its own seeds over there, but I have sort of started clipping those and throwing them in the front yard or saving them for a friend, because I'm trying to control what it's gonna look like. And even though I have been just willy-nilly with seeds, I will edit very carefully to decide what look I want. Hello, Mrs. Hi, Pumpkin. What a baby. She's so skittish. She never gets this close to me, y'all. Hi. She meows at me, follows me around, and wants my full attention, and then I can't touch her. I touch the end of her nose if she's really hungry and I have food in my hand. So, Miss Doubtfire. What a rascal. And then, ooh, this is so pretty. It cooled off. I can't believe this lived through the summer. I cannot. That's the Tutti Frutti Agastache. But look at all this. So I don't know if it's, I'll have to look up whether it's perennial and whether it will come back if I cover it up with some leaves, if it'll come back in the spring. But it's so funny that it's lived through the summer. And then look at this. Oh my goodness. This is 290 pink buttons, y'all. Look how pretty. And it's covered. I don't know if you can see. It is covered with buds. I don't know what's happened. They think it's the spring, and they're so happy. This is maybe the best I've ever seen them look. And then I've got so many. Oh, and see, this is Souvenir de Saint Anne. It's already bloomed once in the last couple weeks, and it is the same thing. It's covered with little buds and some flowers, and I'm really excited. It really looks pretty. It looked pretty scruffy 6 weeks ago, and it really has come out nicely. And then, y'all, the wildflower situation is bananas. So this is blue bonnet here. This is pink evening primrose, and then I've got, okay, now I'm just looking. That's a cleome seed. I don't want that. It's going to be 6 feet tall, 5 feet tall. I don't need that in the gravel, so I'll probably weed that out. It's a lot of those. And then there's weeds in here, but now I had some violas, little Johnny jump ups last year, and I think that's what this is. Look at, okay, so this right here is this right here. That's the coral nymph salvia or similar. But next to it, I think, and I'm just gonna have to wait until they get a little bigger, I think some of these at least are little Johnny jump ups that just self-seeded from last year. And then I've got these wonderful coneflowers, and then this coneflower just turned brown and looked like it died, so last week. And then this little thing, I mean, I hadn't really thought about looking at seedlings on this video, but this, I think, is a gomphrena, which is this. So it would make sense, right, that would be what that is. And then this tiny little thing is a coneflower, which makes sense because coneflower. So it makes sense that one would have self-seeded in here sometime at some point. And then there's weeds. But I think this is going to be really neat. And then, oh, I noticed something over here. You know, I've got all my bluebonnets in here, but go clippity clop over here. But I noticed last week that, and I put this so I wouldn't step on it, that is a larkspur. Right there, those are larkspur seedlings. And it makes sense because I had larkspur a couple of feet from here last year. So they're so tiny, but it, you know, sometimes it really pays to come out and look. And then this is something, I can't remember the name of it. It'll come to, oh, I think it's cudweed right here, and this, and I kind of everywhere. But I think this is what this is. And it is a butterfly host for like something like the painted lady or something butterfly. And so I'm leaving it. Obviously it can kind of go out, get out of control. So once I'll ask my butterfly group on Facebook, is that what that is? And then I will, you know, sort of selectively weed out what I want and what I don't want, because I don't want that to just take over. And if that's what that is, I may be in a little trouble, because that's what all of this, look at this nonsense. Oh, and that, look, there's another, see that little leafy? That's another larkspur. So you never know when you're really willy-nilly with your leaves, with your seeds. Or I have found when I have wildflowers, have anything close to gravel, it really will take hold. I think that's another gomphrena, because I have gomphrena over there. And then look at this my little native milkweed. That's the aquatic milkweed, just going along, happy as if. And then these flowers, you know, I can't get close enough really to give you an idea of the scale of these. That's Mrs. B. Arcant, and that rose is probably that big. They're so big. When it cools off and you get a lot of rain, which we have, they just get huge, and they're so beautiful and cabbagey. And I'm gonna zoom in really quick. Look at the, can you see the shape? I don't know, let's see, I'm gonna mess with my camera. Excuse me for the terrible, oh, let's see, no, come on, no, that's as close as I can get. But my goodness, they're just incredible individual roses, and I just love them, and that's why they go to the top of my list. So some flowers, things I want, some weeds, mostly weeds. And then I've got, oh, but I sort of passed by. This is Old Blush, such a stalwart rose in any garden, in any Texas garden. It's beautiful, and it just keeps on blooming. And I don't know if you can see, that one is covered with blooms. And it's still, you know, I had leaves on this tree until 10 days ago. And so it just, that'll bloom in the shade, and part shade, and almost as well, it blooms as much and is the same size. This has got a lot more sun, and it just doesn't seem to mind. And it's a great rose. And it's, I mean, they're pretty. It's a little scruffy. You know, it doesn't have the perfect form of the Mrs. B. Arcant over there, but for color and constancy, it never stops blooming. I highly recommend. And then I'm not really gonna do a pot video, but I gotta show you a couple of things. This succulent is blooming. Look how cute. Look at that teeny tiny thing. I love it. I love it when succulents bloom. I've got a little bitty flower on a, oh, I can't think of the name of this. It'll come to me in a minute. And then the most fun is this. Let's see if I can get through here on my clumpy boot and not step on any little wildflowers. look at this getting ready to bloom, this huge aloe vera. I'm so thrilled. So that's gonna be awesome. I don't think any more of those are blooming, but gosh, I think it's so fun when succulents bloom. Now here's a little peep over there. It's gotten really big and really white. That's a souvenir to St. Anne. And there's a pink, it starts out pink, but these have really sort of bleached out to white. And then lots of color from this salvia, lots of color from the gomphrena. And then this thing, this salvia, which is that electric blue. This is the prettiest it has ever looked. This is one plant. It's gotten so big, and I've pretty much killed it every other year. But this year is so happy, and that makes me happy. And then my fantastic rose looks kind of terrible. This is, you almost can't see it. It's just sticks, but sticks and flowers. This is nearly wild, and it's still blooming for me. But I don't really know why it dropped so many leaves. I don't know what's the matter with it, but it still wants to bloom for me, so I'm letting it. And then, like, I threw zinnia seeds out in September, and so I got a few little zinnias back there, and I think those are probably all supposed to be taller than that, but stayed short because it's not hot outside, and which is fine with me. And there it is again, my patch, half weeds, half self-sown things that I want. So I'm gonna have to, when this boot comes off my foot, I'm gonna have to go back in there and pick and get rid of what I don't want. Blackfoot daisy still working out. And my little frog, who I realize my frog doesn't have a name. The lion back there is named Fred, but I don't know what my frog's name is. And more of this wonderful milkweed. And look at the seed pods. Look at this. Isn't this crazy? Look how big that seed pod is. And I've been pulling seeds off of here and just, I've even let a couple I've just let them fall. Mostly because my legs were hurt. But also I'm like, what am I gonna do with 1,000 seeds? All right, sorry, I've gotta go clippity-clop. I'm holding this down because that's where I have to look and make sure I don't fall over. Here's this beautiful, gosh, look at it. This is the powwow wild berry coneflower. And oh my gosh, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 flowers coming on that. Goodness. And all my little parsley. This is the curly. And then I've got lots of flat leaf in the between. And then these are snowflakes, I think, already kind of coming up. And this is that native salvia that I'm really happy how good it looks. And look how big this fennel. Look at that all of a sudden. It's big old fennel. And I've got baby fennel coming up from seed. And I've got all this cute little native geranium that's going to have the tiniest flower in the world on it. And then I've got lots of bluebonnets coming along, all along. And here's a little latecomer, and here's a really pretty one. But look, oh my goodness, this fennel, y'all, it looks so pretty. And then you're gonna laugh. So I planted Thai basil in March. March, y'all. This is the first time it's bloomed. My friend Rachel, whose YouTube channel is Gulf Coast Butterfly Gardening, and she is a master at having an incredible garden and a master at growing things from seed and cuttings. And hers bloomed spectacularly, let's call it, 8 months ago. And yet here mine is. And I trimmed down, I had beautiful gomphrena, and I trimmed it down, and then it's like just quit. I don't know why. It was big and pretty. I mean, it's this gomphrena, this pink, and it was real pretty, and I deadheaded it, but it was floppy, so I deadheaded it pretty hard, like, I don't know, 2 months ago, and then it was just like, well, we're finished. I don't know why it won't go anymore, but I don't think I angered it somehow. And then I want to climb back here, but I'm going to fall over if I do. So I'm just going to point to things. The gomphrena is fantastic. Oh, no, I'm climbing back because I want to show you something. Okay, if I fall over, call 911 from wherever you are. I'm just kidding. Don't call 911. They'll never find me. All right, here we go, here we go, here we go. Okay, y'all, this is the Tutti Frutti Agastache. Look at this. I'm still carrying these clippers around. Look at that. Oh my gosh, right? This is why I love it. But here it is. 2 years ago, it was incredible. And when all it did was rain, it was 6 feet tall in the spring. This made it through the drought, and look at that. Oh my gosh, you guys. And it's sort of entangled with this gomphrena that's almost exactly the same color. But that's why I love it. And then more of this salvia here, and then the random white one that came up over there. And then there's my giant white cleome. That's just random. It's just hanging out. And then this beautiful Amistad salvia. Oh, you guys, do you see that little bird? Wait. Wow. And a little goldfinch, I think, in this wonderful, it's the other side of Excellence von Schubert, still spitting out flowers. I never did get that chelated iron on there to make it less yellow. So I fell down instead. This is the Amante, such a pretty color. And then I've got some little cone flowers. This is the pretty parasols coming up. I'm waiting for that little bird to come back. Come on, little bird. He was beautiful. Yellow, little bitty yellow guy. Okay, I'm gonna end my video because I don't think I can get out of here in a graceful manner. I hope you guys have a great week and a great holiday and a Merry Christmas. And I hope your garden is giving you some joy. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.